Bad things just happen a lot.
That's right.
Like what happened to me.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking about what you were just mentioning about hanging on the river. Just what could you do differently if you're thinking at the moment. I remember playing basketball at the YMCA, and somehow I stole the ball, and I'm not very fast, but I got a quick jump. And then I hear this big guy right behind me. I figure I'm just going to let him go by. So I just quickly jump and stop, and both my knees just both of them at the same time, and I just kind of I was in pain, absolute pain. And so I'm thinking, had I thought
that's a Chris Paul move. He dribbles ahead, he feels the guy behind him, and he stops.
Yeah.
So the guy runs into him, foul.
Yeah, but
Curry does that too.
Yeah, but when you're playing pickup games, don't do that kind. It's not as easy as it gets a little more aggressive. Okay, let me see here. Okay, I can't believe it's so funny. I had some stuff from last week, but I forgot to print out for current.
That's okay.
Yeah. So
is it dated?
Well, the thing is, I used them last week because I got Russell Jackman just to come in, and because I didn't want to. We did a best of the week before, and I didn't want to do another one.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just pull this bad boy up here. Let's see. Why does that happen to me? Okay. Let me bring it up on my phone. That might be a little easier. Okay. Let's see. Best investor in a sports econ. Come on. Sorry, just
Beautiful day outside, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've just been taking time off work the last couple of weeks because this medication I'm on just turned me into a zombie. It's really weird.
I can't imagine. I cannot.
Yeah. Well, I'll be back to normal. So they say next week, but I don't know. We'll see. I've been able to do much exercise, that's for sure.
I'm just going to ask the same questions I asked last week. No one will remember. And you guys weren't here, so you don't even know the questions. All right. Yeah. You guys ready?
Yeah. Fire away.
Let's do it. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Edward Brown here, along with Bruce McGowan on the phone and Vern Glenn in the studio. Guys, where do you want to start?
Well, you got to start with a hot thing. I mean, it's NBA free agency. It's all anybody's talking about. Yeah. The trade for Anthony Davis. I mean, it's hot now, and we're in the midst of the free agency period. It's going to go till the end of the month. You can start signing guys starting July 6th, which is the beginning of the new NBA season year, and it's okay. The Raptors, they're the NBA champion. Okay, so are you going to take their formula and add some free agents, and then boom, just go right to the penthouse? Yeah. Or are you going to slowly build, or are you going to do what the Lakers did and finally making that trade to get Anthony Davis? But I don't know about you, Bruce, but two superstars does not make a super team. That team needs help.
No, it doesn't. The Warriors situation is unusual. I mean, losing two incredible players back-to-back nights, or not back-to-back nights, but back-to-back games, that was unprecedented. But they're in a tough situation. Not only do they lose two of the best players on their team, but they're probably going to see one or two other of the supporting cast retire. Marcus Cousins is probably going to move on.
Yeah.
It's going to be very, very difficult for the Warriors to be anything more than a mid-level contender next year on paper.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're not going to have a good year, but on paper, they don't look like the kind of team that is going to come close to contending for a championship because you're missing, some key pieces. So it's going to be difficult, and they're not going to be able to fill in for those guys with acquired free agents that are that high quality because they just don't have the money. Maybe they can get a guy like a Trevor Ariza or a Seth Curry or maybe a Rudy Gay, and those guys lift them back up to the elite level? I don't think so. So it could be a really difficult year of adjustment, and they're moving into a new building. The expectations are going to be kind of high, but at the same time, I think we have to be realistic about this team. So it'll be an interesting year for them.
I'm going to come back in a different way, Bruce. Let's just face it. Joe Lacob and Peter Guber, they did not buy that team to keep them in Oakland. These guys are go big or go home kind of guys. So we knew they wanted to bring him to San Francisco. They got that new building that's opening up. They've already selling out concerts that they're going to be playing there. I mean, they want to stay at least in the discussion, in the NBA relevant cookout. In order to do that, you got to go out and get some free agents. Who they are, I don't know. But they're going to go out. They're going to give the kingdom to Kevin Durant. They're going to give the kingdom to Klay Thompson. But those guys are not walking through that door for all of next season. So who are you going to build around? Draymond Green, who is entering his last year before he becomes a free agent, and Steph Curry, who's due to make $40 million next year. And speaking of the money, Draymond Green, boy, this is going to be the last year of his deal, Edward, but $18 million. What a steal. $18 million. That's going to be his salary for this season. And then that he shoots right on up. But in other words, but it was I mean, whether it's Jimmy Butler or Trevor Ariza, I mean, that team needs long range shooters. That team needs guys that get up and down the floor. And if you look at the current roster, guys like Bogut, he's probably going back to Australia. Cousins probably gone. Livingston, he had openly talked about retirement, but I mean, who knows? I mean, and then you've got some of the fringe guys that you might need.
Well, Jerebko, is he going to stay?
Jerebko's going to be gone. They could go out and get another faster, quicker Jerebko to play the wing. Quinn Cook, they will probably bring him back because he was the number one guy off the bench for Klay and for Steph, and he's cheap. So you need cheaper guys who can shoot, who know the system.
And Jordan Bell, he just didn't.
I think Jordan Bell gets passed. I don't think they give up that quickly. What, 2 years in the league? I don't think they have it. Plus, it's a team option now. I mean, they can just go out and just retain him. And Bell can't do anything about it.
Damian Jones healthy? Will he be healthy?
Damian Jones will be healthy enough to return as well.
Now, we were talking earlier about how Klay Thompson's injury will keep him out the entire year.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, will that keep him out the entire year?
Oh yeah, come on, dude. It's a torn ACL. Like, look at this lampshade. Look at this lampshade. Just cut it in half. That shade's gonna roll right on up.
Oh, yeah.
So we had to have surgery to suture it back together. By the time he's ready to go, atrophy has set in so much. That skinny leg is going to be even skinnier. And you have to build back the strength.
And here's the thing about Kevin Durant, great player as he is. Is he going to be the same Kevin Durant coming back? The history of guys who have this kind of injury,
usually they're not the same guy when they come back. But I'll take. But you know what? Would you take Kevin Durant at 80%?
Oh,
I would.
Yeah.
I sure would.
Yeah.
Do you guys see the replays of the injury? Did you see that? Did you see that tendon just pop when he pushed off that right leg? Did you guys see that?
Scary.
Eerie. And I had that injury in 1992 playing racquetball.
Wow.
Pushed off, pop. You feel like you get kicked in the back of the leg.
Well, that's what it's interesting because they originally it was a calf injury, or they thought it was a calf injury, and I guess it just hadn't quite snapped.
Yeah, I thought it was a calf strain, which technically is a tear.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure there were a lot of cooks in the kitchen before he was green lighted to get back on that floor.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Bob Myers, man, he took it all. He just felt so.
He's a general manager. He builds the team. He makes the ultimate decisions. And for just over a quarter, boy, it was beautiful. It was like he never left.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing it at both ends.
Just really quickly with LeBron, he came out of high school and hit the pros. How many years do you think he's got left? Because I know he wants to play at least one more.
What is he, 36? Is that right? I think he's 36. I have no notes in front of me, but I think he's kind of over that line. He's great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great now. Is he as great as he was in his prime? Probably not.
Yeah.
But again, LeBron James at 70% is better than almost everybody else.
And he wants to play with Davis.
Yeah, and of course, of course. But geez, Tobias Harris is out there. I mean, they're going to bring in some shooters. They're going to bring in some ball handlers to kind of work that thing around to set it up.
Well, Kuzma's still good.
Kuzma, yeah. Kuzma's good. I mean, he's another part. I wouldn't be personally. I wouldn't put Kuzma as okay. Oh, he's the big three.
No.
With James
and what about Mr. Ball?
Lonzo. Well, that's the other thing, Bruce. How about this? All of a sudden, the New Orleans Pelicans, man, that's a sexy team. They got a lot of weapons. They're gonna go up. They're gonna get Zion Williamson.
Another team to keep an eye on. If they get Kawhi Leonard, can you imagine how good the Clippers will be? Because they were a very respectable team without it.
Yeah.
You bring him in with a coach like Doc Rivers. You got Jerry West in the front office. Everybody talks about the Lakers. I think the Clippers, if they get Kawhi Leonard, that could be the team that could supplant.
But does Kawhi want to stay?
What if Kawhi Leonard goes to the Lakers?
Or what? Doesn't he want to maybe stay with the Raptors?
If I'm the Raptors, I'm
Do whatever.
I'm ready. I mean, dude, he owned a country.
Yeah.
For the entire NBA playoffs. Owned a country.
Well, I think Kawhi guys are smart enough to look at the Lakers situation. Yeah, on paper, you have LeBron and you have Anthony Davis. You have some potential, but that is one of the most dysfunctional organizations in sports. I don't see, even with those guys and a good supporting cast, the Lakers being that effective, because I just don't think it's a very good franchise.
Yeah, but Bruce, we're on the outside looking in. I mean, we're not in there day in and day out. I mean, we don't really know.
You're enough talk about that team. You know, Genie Bus has just been a disaster. Rob Pelinka, you know, you hear the nonsense and all the way they treated Magic Johnson. I got to know Magic Johnson a little bit as a player, and that guy was a good person, and he was not the kind of a person he was portrayed with the front office of the Lakers. I don't blame him for walking away.
Okay, here's a little known fact before
cut the break.
Before Edward jumps in and puts the car in D to drive off to the break. There have been 42 trades on teams that LeBron James has been a part of since 2010.
Wow, that's amazing. Hey guys, quick commercial break here. How many times have the Olympics been canceled? All right, stay with us. Sports Econ 101 will be right back. Yeah, we kind of went way over. Let's see here.
I like that one.
You like that one? All right.
Yeah.
How's the rest of the family, my friend?
Oh, they're doing fine.
Good.
I'm not doing that badly. I had this weird seizure. I didn't know I had it in the middle of the night. And so the doctor said, well, that's normal unless you had a stroke. You usually have that. They did an MRI and everything is fine. But they said that you got to be on this anti-seizure drug. And that means no driving for 7 weeks.
Whoa.
And you have to take a couple of weeks off of work. And I'm already going to have to take a few weeks off in September for this operation. So I don't know how long I have to be off. Well, you're not going to want to go back to work for a couple of weeks because this stuff's going to make you real woozy. It does. So I said, well, how long is it going to be before I get used to it? Oh, you'll be used to it in a couple of weeks. So a couple of weeks is gone by and I'm starting to get used to it. But let me tell you, it's like you get up in the morning. I take it at night. You get up in the morning and you're like, whoa.
Oh, wow.
Like I had a good time last night somewhere.
Does that mean you can't go on a walk for a while, or?
Oh yeah, no, I can do walks.
Okay.
I can't do anything real strenuous. I just been hit with a lot of stuff.
Sure.
You take for granted good health.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, all that stuff hopefully will pass, but there's no guarantee of it ever going away completely. So I just have to deal with it. So.
Well, it's a good thing you can't do anything strenuous because I couldn't keep up with you anyway.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get all upset about it.
No, you just got to deal with it, But I mean, I understand it's a little easier for me to say that I'm not having to deal with it. I have to deal with other things, but not that. So let me know when you want to take a nice walk and we'll just relax.
No, I'd love to. Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's hit this again here. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. One more time, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Vern Glenn and Bruce McGowan. Trivia question was, how many times have the Olympics been canceled?
That's an easy one. Twice. During World War II, 1940, 1944.
Actually, 3 times.
Three times. What was the third?
Was 1916.
Oh,
because of World War I.
World War I.
Yeah. That's pretty good, though. You got 2 out of 3.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
The United States boycotted 1980 and the Soviet Union
True. 84, but they weren't actually canceled though. So actually, let's continue this for just a minute here because with the Olympics, because I was reading about Castor Semenya. Okay, so this person, she's naturally a woman, hasn't right? She hasn't gone through any operations or anything, right? Apparently, she was facing suspension in the Olympics if she does not take a hormone suppressant in order to compete. Now, because she won the gold medal in the 800 meters in 2012, and the International Association of Athletic Federation determined that Semenya has differences of sexual development because her body naturally produces more testosterone than most women.
Yeah, but wasn't it just ruled though that she can't compete now?
I believe it was.
Yeah.
But just the idea that they'd even bring it up, I'm thinking, okay, so then I want Kevin Durant to play on his knees because he's naturally taller than most people.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's pretty silly. You know, there was a woman, I think there were several women actually, that competed for this. One of the reasons the East Germans and the Soviet Union women's team did so well was a lot of their athletes were given back in the 1960s and 70s these testosterone drugs, and especially the East German women. I mean, East Germany became well known for having these incredible athletes, most of them were women. And
but then you're
never said boo about the whole thing.
Yeah, well, okay, but in that case, that's more like just like taking steroids. Okay, you're altering your body unnaturally. Okay, this woman just happens to be natural. I mean, LeBron James is naturally a very gifted. It'd be one thing if a guy turns into a woman.
She naturally has higher levels of testosterone in her.
A lot of women, they maybe have more facial hair or whatever. I mean, they have aspects that
sure.
I mean, hey, that's just the cards you're dealt with. Okay, it's one thing if let's say a guy decides he wants to. Well, Caitlyn Jenner, okay, a good example right now.
We
not in her prime
recently
anymore.
We recently did a story on a basketball player at Mission High School down in the South Bay who was a man for most of his life and decided to become a woman and went through the process and had to go to court to be able to be ruled as a woman to be able to compete as a woman in women's college basketball, and she did.
I gotcha. Now, and that I kind of look at it and say, okay, now that isn't natural. Now, and that they probably actually in that case she did have to take estrogen, right?
She did.
So that you're actually suppressing her testosterone levels because naturally she was a man. I don't know how. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know how to counterbalance. If you add a lot more estrogen, does it suddenly reduce the testosterone thing? But see, that to me is more, that's cloudy, But the other one is clear cut. I mean, just because you're having to be naturally born with more testosterone and you're a woman, hey, that's what it is.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember this. Also, let's go back a few years. There was a women's basketball, a tennis player.
Yeah.
Who didn't compete at the highest level.
Renee Richards.
Dr. Renee Richards.
Yeah.
At one time, and a lot of her opponents thought it was unfair.
I remember.
She was bigger, stronger than a lot of the female athletes, and they did. I can't remember. There was one very famous competitor. I think it was Margaret Court from Australia, who really got upset about it and made a big stink about it, and it became quite a controversial story. So, it's interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah, anyway, I just thought since we had a trivia question on the Olympics, I thought I'd kind of bring that up.
And you did.
And I did. Okay, so some other firsts. The St. Louis Blues.
St. Louis Blues, NHL champion. Good for them.
On the
first time in franchise history.
And on Boston's ice.
Yeah. You know what I thought, and before it happened, the perception was that, the Bruins are gonna, they're gonna beat anybody coming out of the West. They were just forget about it. It's Boston's year, and hey, score one for the little guy. I mean, Boston. I mean, the Boston came in and they tried to really be physical and muscle these guys up, and the Blues just hung in there. And then a loose puck here, there, and then and a turnover here, and bam, NHL champion. Did you guys see Brett Hall at the Blues parade? Let's just say he was having a good time.
Well, one thing that's great about St. Louis, too, think about this, guys. They had the worst record in hockey at the midway point of the season, now they're the champions, and their coach, Craig Berube, I believe, became their head coach during the season. I can't remember a team making that kind of a dramatic turnaround. Of course, you know, they always say you're going to win if you have a hot goalie. This young kid, Bennington, was just, you know, he was stellar in the net. So there you go. That's a big reason.
How old is their franchise?
St. Louis win it, because how many years they've been in the league?
That's what I was wondering. Right?
Yeah.
Wow. 47 years, 50 years, something like that. I mean, they've been around a long time.
They almost competed against the Boston Red Sox for droughts. Yeah. Of course, the Boston had one before, but yeah.
Great sports town. I don't know if you guys have been back.
Seattle.
Great baseball town. They lost their football team, but they love their hockey team, and it's got even.
I consider that a major sports town.
Which
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, major.
They got the Gas House Gang from the '30s, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Boyd Bob Gibson and Luke Rock.
Sure.
And I like how all the venues are relatively close to each other. You know, from the stadium to where the Rams used to play to where the Blues currently play.
Well, it's a big small town. Is really what it is.
It is.
It's, you know, it's what you think of when you think of the Midwest. It's you know, it's got its problems now. It's going through some rough times. Yeah. I think if you win a championship, that really lifts the spirits of everybody. Important.
The St. Louis Arches, the gateway to the West.
There you go.
Moving on then to golf.
Gary Woodland. Yeah.
Not bad, huh?
Not bad at all. This guy, man, this you know about his background, Bruce? I mean, he's
basketball, right?
Tall son of a gun. He was two-time state high school champion out of Topeka, Kansas, and then ended up going to college on a college basketball scholarship. And he tells the story that his first game, they were at Allen Fieldhouse playing Kansas, the #1 team in the nation, and he had to guard Heinrich, and it was apparent to him for as good as Woodland was, for as touted as he was coming in, that the brand of basketball that Kansas played was a little higher than a brand that he had ever played before, and so he knew right then that basketball was not going to be in the long run for him. Fortunately for him, he could play golf.
Yeah.
And so he switched to golf, transferred to Kansas, by the way, got a golf scholarship, and then the rest is history.
What I thought was great was on the final hole where he didn't need to sink that putt.
Yeah.
He only needed a couple of shots to make it, so there was no pressure on him. He went out and did it with a flourish. He hit that. I don't know how long that putt was.
Yeah, he went long distance for that one. I think a couple of key shots on the way. The second shot he hit on the par 5 14th, 238 yards away, pulls out a 3-wood or whatever, just crushes it, clears everything, lands on the green, able to make a birdie out of that one. And then on the par 3 historic 17th hole, when he was all the way at one end of the green, chips to the other side, nearly holes that out, putts out for par, and wins the tournament, holding off Brooks Koepka, who was going for his fourth straight. Going for his third straight U.S. Open title.
Wow,
that's pretty amazing.
I don't know if either of you guys have ever been or covered a tournament at that golf course down in Monterey, but that is not only is it a spectacular place, but it has such a great history. Fern was mentioning the 17th hole. I was there in 1982 when Tom Watson had that amazing shot at 17.
Chipped it right out of the rough.
That place.
Yeah, I'm down there all the time because that's where the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am is that I've covered since I've been in this market, which is almost 30 years. So I got a lot of I've got a lot of lost balls and tales to tell from walking around the Monterey Peninsula on that course.
Have you ever gotten?
I did. I got a chance to play with my dad. I probably lost 15 balls on the Pebble Beach course alone, but it didn't matter because you're playing with your dad. And I have a picture of my dad kind of clenching his fist in almost Tiger Woods fist pump fashion after he parred the 17th hole.
Wow.
One of my great memories of that course, playing that with Dad. But hey, you know what? Good for Woodland. And in the economics of it, this being Sports Econ 101,
Yeah, sure.
he had that. First of all, he had never finished higher than, I want to say, 25th in his previous U.S. Opens.
Yeah.
So it's like out of nowhere, comes out and wins it. Not only wins it, he won the richest purse in golf.
Yeah.
$2.25 million.
That'll buy you a lot of golf balls to lose.
But to break it down, and I look at you because you're all about the numbers.
Numbers,
Edward,
baby.
How much does he really make out of that?
Well,
Now, granted, he won the tournament in California.
yeah, and what state does he
I have
domicile?
never heard. I'm not a big golf person. I've never even
Heard of him, yeah.
heard of this guy. Have you actually ever won a PGA tournament?
Oh yeah,
He must have in order to qualify, right?
It was his fourth.
But I mean, he wasn't exactly a big name. Nobody.
No. Hey guys, let's get to a break.
He was a big name within the golf circles. It was his fourth PGA
Gotcha.
win.
Okay, all right, guys. Trivia question here is: what NFL team was originally called the Seniors?
Oh, I know that.
You know that one?
I can
All right.
almost recuse myself on that one.
Okay, hold
And
on.
Bruce knows that one too.
Stay with us. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. We'll be right back.
Got a good story about that one.
Okay.
Not only were they the seniors, they had all different. The whole uniform was different, brown and black.
Yeah. Right.
Black.
Yep. And the story goes, Bruce might know more than I would about this. I had heard that Al Davis went and tried to get rid of all the documentation of that uniform. Like you can't. I mean,
I've never heard that, but it wouldn't surprise me, knowing Al Davis.
Yeah. Once they came up with the whole, pirate raider, with a patch and all. Once they came up with that whole marketing thing, that was it.
Yeah.
All right, boys. And away we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Edward Brown here, Bruce McGowan over there, Vern Glenn over here.
Right here.
Right here. What NFL team was originally called the Seniors?
Bruce?
That would be the Oakland Raiders.
The Raiders.
That is correct.
Right.
Interesting story about that. There was a guy who was, I believe, was the head of the Oakland Chamber of Commerce by the name of Ted Soda, and he used to go up and introduce himself to people, and he would say, "Hello, senor." And you're like, "Oh, hey, buddy." And that was the way he introduced himself to people, and he thought it was a cool name. So at the press conference, introduced the new Raider team, which had actually been an afterthought. The team was not going to be in Oakland originally, and it got to Oakland somehow by default. He comes to the press conference with a whole group of sombreros, dumps them on the table, and he says, "Gentlemen, I present to you the Oakland Seniors."
Wow. And they play their games as at what is now is it Kaiser?
Yeah, I know.
Right off of 880 in Oakland.
But
As we alienate the audience here.
I guess as an alternative, somebody who had been an alum at Texas Tech thought the Red Raiders was a cool name, so they said, "Why don't we call them the Raiders?" And then, of course, Al Davis comes along 3 years later, years into their incarnation in 1963, and he goes, "We're going to have silver and black colors because that's unique." And he sort of modeled it after the West Point, Army team, which had the gold and black, and he thought silver and black was very distinctive. And in fact, think about it, silver and black. Can you think of a more distinctive outfit than what the Raiders have worn? And they've had the same uniform ever since.
What I don't know is who did Al go out to get to actually design the logo? I don't know much about that.
I don't know. That's a very good question.
Well, I have here a little tidbit. It says the original name was a winner of a Name That Team contest, and it was changed to the Raiders, which was the third place name after 9 days.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You mentioned that. That's true. It was supposed to be a Name the Team contest, but Chef Soda, because he had some influence in Oakland, thought, well, I'm going to call them the Seniors. That's what we're going to call them. And for some reason, everybody went along with that. But of course, the media immediately, kind of laughed and scoffed. And fans who were going to be supporting this team, we're not going to call them the Oakland Seniors.
Yeah.
Real.
I mean, even the Padres as a baseball team seems kind of fun. I mean, we're all used to it now, but it's like, really? I mean, I guess because the missions and stuff like that.
Sure.
But,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, but still, it's kind of a sort of an odd name, though. Still, don't you think? Okay. Speaking of baseball, how about Mr. Bellinger?
What about him?
He is just tearing
And the rest of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it looks like, hey, if I don't have the standings in front of me, but if you look at it, it looks like this is shaping up to be, the Dodgers handling things in the West. Although, if the Dodgers and the Astros met in a series, boy, I don't know. I mean, the Astros are ruling things in the American League West, and the Dodgers are doing their thing in the National League. And speaking of baseball, how about Edwin Encarnacion? After everything, all the stuff happened, this one kind of slipped through the cracks that the leader in the American League in home runs is now a New York Yankee. I think he'll be penciled in the lineup at the beginning of the week. Yeah.
It's interesting you mentioned that Houston and the Dodgers for him because they have identical records, best records in the league. Dodgers 48-24, Houston 48-24, which I can't believe anybody's going to be able to keep up that kind of pace. That's 22 out of every 3 games of baseball, which is unprecedented. But right now they have done that. The Dodgers have, I'm looking at the standings right now, they own, as we speak, a 10.5 game lead in the National League West. Houston, in the American League West, actually owns a 9.5 game lead over Texas, which the Rangers have been kind of a surprise this year, but I don't think they're going to make any kind of challenge against the Houston Astros.
Yeah, so, boy, it's funny. You kind of look at the standings and you go, is anybody got a shot to challenge them, or is it just going to be those two teams?
Well, actually, you know something? I'm wrong. The team with the best record in all of baseball, the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, they've come alive.
7 and 23. Who would have thought that was possible?
Yeah. Wow. And
away from Minnesota, 24-12. Got a 24-12 record on the road. That's amazing.
That is quite a big jump there. So a couple of quick things here. I wanted to bring up. Okay, so total change here. Jordy Nelson. He's going to play one day with the Packers to retire with them. What do you think about guys who do that? Where, it's kind of odd. I mean, the guys obviously everyone's known him as a Packer for so many years, and then what last year he played with the Raiders, didn't he?
I think it's become kind of a tradition now, and I think it's fun for the fans. It doesn't hurt the game. It doesn't take anything away from the game. The guy comes and he gets out there for one play, or he doesn't even play, but he puts his uniform on. I think it's fine. People like that tradition. They like to have somebody that they can hold on to. Hey, this guy's our guy. He's one of us. I was always wondering if Terrell Owens was going to retire as a 49er.
Yeah.
That's bad. He's here in the Bay Area.
Exactly.
That wasn't going to happen. But Jordy Nelson was a real Packer. I think
but I mean, didn't he only play like one season with the Raiders?
Yeah, just 1 year.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of like just sort of it's like Johnny Unitas with the Chargers. I mean, he was always a cult. So I don't know if we need to like have him back for one day just for that purpose. I mean, it seems a little odd. But
it's been going on. I mean, there's been a lot of teams that have done this now. It's not that big a deal. You're right. It is kind of weird and awkward in a sort of different sort of way. But I mean, it's just become how sports are. They find a little trend and they stick with it. And I think the NFL is really PR conscious. They want to make sure that fans feel like they're a part of the organization, and with all the free agency and all the players moving here and there, and maybe this is a way of kind of restoring the tradition. I don't know.
Speaking of free agencies and players moving here and there, boy, back to the NBA, I'm sensing a trend, Bruce, that in a lot of these so-called smaller markets, how in the world are they going to be able to hang on to maybe some of the big names that they drafted? I mean, no offense to Minnesota, Salt Lake City, markets like that. I mean, I don't. These kids today coming in, they want stability, they want marketability, and they want to play on a team that wins.
Well, and then
of course,
the big challenge then is to build
a lot of money.
build a front office in a place like, Salt Lake City or Minnesota that can, lure these guys in. And the way you do that is to win. Easier said than done. I mean, Utah has been an example of an organization that comes from one of the smaller markets that actually done pretty well.
Yeah.
Won a championship.
Yeah, but can they hang on to Donovan Mitchell once he's free?
Yeah.
I mean, that's their guy, And if you're, I mean, come on. I mean, if you're a young 20-something, guy. That wants the bright lights of the big city. I mean, come on. At night, what are you gonna do in Salt Lake?
Yeah.
At night after 10,
Oh,
I think with any athlete, is that you want to play on a winner. You can play on a winner in Sacramento, or you can play on a winner in Salt Lake City that has a chance to do the championships. I think you'll forego some of that fast lifestyle to win a championship. Now, not all players can do that.
and that's what they.
But
should
at least in Sacramento and of course the Bay Area, you could throw a rock in any direction. You're going to find some startup company, just looking for your money to invest, because that's kind of from a tech standpoint, that's kind of where it's going. I don't know if you get that in the land of 10,000 lakes.
It is a shame, though, I think, don't you, that it has to always be that's the big thing, the big motivator. I think players will always tell you, I'd rather win a championship first and foremost, but in the back of their minds with the money that's being thrown around these days, how can you not be thinking about what Kevin Durant is going to be making? 40. You mentioned $40 million.
Yeah, he'll get. Well, Clay, Curry will get 40, and if Kevin goes ahead and kicks in his option, that's a little over 31, be 32 million. That'll be coming to him. But I think the Warriors will just go out and just get him a max deal, and that'll shoot him up close to 40. So you got.
Vernon, I don't know about you guys, but I think that Kevin Durant is probably the fact that he tore his Achilles in a weird sort of a way. I think it bodes well for the Warriors that they keep him, because I don't think he wants to rehab in another city with a bunch of people he doesn't know. I think he's found a comfort zone, found a place where he's got a home. And I think he wants to be a part of this organization.
That's a good point.
Well, I just wish I knew him. I mean, all we're doing is spitballing and speculating. I mean, I really wish I knew him. The only thing I do know is that he is smart enough to do his due diligence and figure it all out before he makes a decision. I know that he will do that.
Yeah.
You think DeMarcus Cousins stays with the Warriors?
No. I think any team. I know Dallas was sniffing around. Any team that wants to give him double-digit millions, he'll take it.
Yeah. He's not fitting in with the organization quite as well either.
Well, it depends on the game. You got good Boogie, who can play a nice little inside game and do it at both ends, and then you got bad Boogie where he's out there and you don't even know he's even out there because he hasn't contributed.
Yeah.
What cracked me up about Cousins too, I think about halfway through his stint with the Warriors, he said, "Stop calling me Boogie. I'm tired of that. That's my old name. I don't want to be called Boogie anymore."
Okay, well, fair enough.
Kind of an interesting guy. I got to know him just very slightly. He didn't strike me as unfriendly, but he's a little testy.
Yeah, he's a little can be a little prickly. Every now and then.
That's like Steph Curry. You can walk up to the hallway on the way to the locker room and just get into a casual conversation with him. Same thing with Draymond Green. I mean, or Andre Iguodala, Klay Thompson. But a guy like Boogie Cousins is sort of more typical of the kind of standoffish prima donna athletes you have. I mean, I'm not knocking the guy. That's just who he is. So.
Wait, moving up.
Well, you got different guys in the NBA, Bruce. I mean, I don't know if you're buying this, but you get guys who are more alpha guys, more leadership, kind of mature guys, and then you got the rest.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the knock around the Houston Rockets, because they really don't have a guy that's alpha enough where if he's off, somebody else will pick him up. And I'm thinking about James Harden. Boy, if he goes down, just the whole aura and the rest of the team it's just affected. But I
don't like to say bad things about people, but I will say this: the Warriors, after they were dethroned to a man, they stayed on the court. They congratulated their opponents. Curry was giving hugs to opposing players. Did you see James Harden or any of these other guys on the Rockets doing that? They
No.
off the floor.
No.
They always feel like they got slighted. You know, 'cause it's funny. I was just thinking about Clay Thompson. You always see him like pictures with him and his dog.
Oh, Rocco?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Does he have a girlfriend or a wife or something? We don't know
No,
about.
he doesn't have a wife, but he's been high in the dating scene. He's not
Okay.
he's not alone.
I wouldn't think so, but you know, it's maybe he's just trying to keep his personal life very, very.
Yeah,
quiet.
he does. He's kind of, he's kind of. I don't want to say he runs away from the spotlight. I mean, if you stop him and talk to him, he'll talk to you back and engage you in conversation beyond the subject of basketball. I mean, he's a good guy like that. Raised right by his
There
dad.
you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike Howell. Okay.
He's a more private guy. I got to know his dad pretty well when I was working in Portland back in the day, back in the late '70s. And his dad is a much more sort of outgoing guy.
Yeah.
Clay is, a very nice guy, but he's not the kind of a person that's going to go out of his way to, be super outgoing. But yet at the same time, one of the most thoughtful, intelligent, interesting people that I've ever run into. I'm sure Vernon, one of the things that always impressed me about Vernon, the way he covers sports, is he really gets to know these people as individuals. And my impression of Clay Thompson is that he is one of those guys that you just love to have on your team because he's very empathetic.
Absolutely. Hey, Bruce, hold on a second. We got to cut to this break. Okay, what is the oldest championship in North American professional sports? Don't touch that down. We'll be right back.
Good one.
Okay. Sorry.
I think I know that one.
Okay. Sorry about that. I hate to cut guys off, but it's like
team championship or just an individual?
What is the oldest championship in North American professional sports? That's our question.
Something like golf or tennis, or it doesn't have to be a team sport.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Let me save this number 4, and then one short one, and we'll be out of here. All right.
By the way, I'll tell you guys. I don't want to make a big deal of it on the air, but I just won my second straight Emmy for.
I saw that. That was on. You put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
I know, that was awesome.
Thank you, man.
You've heard it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You've heard it.
You won it 3 years in a row. You'll beat Kupka.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's any better?
No, but no one.
Yeah, it was well. The cool thing is, I was up against Scott Reese at Channel 2 for this one, and was able to get the nod over him. Although Reese, he won an Emmy for best sports feature.
Oh, what was his feature?
He did like an in-depth feature. I think it was. Oh God, what was this guy's name? This guy's name was Ty. It was I think he's a former player. One of those heartwarming, tug at the heartstrings, well produced story that he did.
Okay. Actually, I was going to mention about a heart thing. Okay, hold on. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Last time for today. Everett Brown here along with Bruce McGowan and Vern Glenn. Third trivia question. What is the oldest championship in North American professional sports?
My guess is the America's Cup.
Horse racing. They did a Triple Crown of horse racing.
I guess the America's Cup.
No, actually, they got here the oldest. They call it the oldest championship in North American professional sports. Actually, they say it's the Stanley Cup of 1893.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah, it started in 1893.
Did you know that the Stanley Cup, the trophy itself, was just that little cup at the very top?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
he built this whole thing.
He got it. Yeah, he got it in Europe.
Okay.
And he named it after himself.
Uh-huh.
And he was such a fan of hockey after seeing it, he decided to have a tournament where the winner of the tournament won this cup.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And so there was, and then as the years rolled on, and they would just make a layer of underneath that cup where they would put the names of the teams.
Uh-huh.
And now it looks it's like a multi-layered wedding cake.
Yeah, no, it's a nice looking trophy. Though.
Yeah.
Okay, so in fact,
let me ask you guys: is there a nicer or more distinctive looking championship trophy?
No, I like it the most.
I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
It's really
and I like the fact that every member of the team gets that trophy for one day.
There you go. I
off-season.
like that.
Cool.
All right, guys, we got to cut out for the day. Here's our thoughts for the day. Same thoughts as we had last week, but you guys weren't here, so you'll hear it again, or the audience will hear it again. You know, we have a bribery problem around here. No one seems to think I'm important enough to bribe.
Yeah,
That's a problem.
that is a problem.
That is a problem. And Teddy Roosevelt said, complaining about a problem without posing a solution is called whining. I don't know if that's true. What do you think? I don't know. All right, tune in next week to Sports Econ 101. We're going to be discussing sports topics from a business perspective. We're also going to be asking sports trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm your host, Edward Brown. We'll see you next week.
Good night, America.
So long. Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't say it on the air, but wasn't that really sweet how in golf, the guy who won it?
Gary Woodland.
Yeah, just losing my train of thought here. How he got that little girl to come on and
That's what he was best known for. That happened
was so
in February.
Okay.
There was a tournament in, I believe, in Phoenix, and this little girl suffered from Down syndrome.
Yeah.
She was a pretty good golfer, and somehow, I don't know if it was part of a Make-A-Wish Foundation or whatever,
Yeah.
or for First Tee program. She got a chance to play with him for a hole, and she parred the hole.
She did great.
Yeah.
But I mean, just what a very heartwarming
And
story.
and in the press conference yesterday, they got her on the phone.
Yeah.
And so he did a little FaceTime with her on the phone, like in the middle of all this international meeting.
I know that was just real. That was so cool.
That was cool.
You know that? How about that little girl that they kept showing during the playoffs that was St. Louis Blues fan? I'm not sure what her story was, but I remember during the Sharks series in the finals, you know, they kept spotlighting her, and I'm not sure what the deal was.
Are you talking about the young lady who the actress that was on The Office from St. Louis? That one?
No, this is a girl who's probably no older than about 10. I think she is.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Isn't her dad on the team?
No. She's just a longtime fan. She has, I think she might.
Can't be that long time. What is she, like 6?
She has some kind of weird disease or something, but she was always sitting in one of the prime spots, and they'd always give her a nice little ovation, and she was kind of like the unofficial mascot of the team. I thought that was kind of cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
All right.
That is pretty cool.
Let's see. So, guys, we'll be able to. Oh, in fact, okay. So for some reason, I have here. Oh no, that's wait. Okay. So, you want to try for? Let's see. Next week. Does Monday or Tuesday work better for you guys next week?
Tuesday's fine with me.
Monday's okay?
Yeah, Monday's
Okay.
Monday's fine.
All right. So we'll do Monday next week, 10 a.m.
Sounds like a deal, McNeil.
All right. You take care, Bruce, and let me know when you want to do a walk, okay?
Yeah, we'll do.
All right.
Talking to you guys.
Oh, here she is. Yeah, young blues fan battling a rare disease. Get surprised with game maybe that's it.
Yeah, that's her.
Rare disease, get surprised trip to game 3. Who is this here? Layla Anderson, young blues fan, battling rare disease called it's called HLH. Those are the initials.